It's important to understand as a BIM modeler what is required to model at what LOD and what am I responsible for. If I was the architect, I'd understand just by looking at our scope here. For the as-built requirements, I am responsible for the column foundations. As a contractor, I might be responsible for the asset data requirements, and it would include some parameters for these concrete columns. Within our scope, we can clearly visualize who is responsible for what milestone, the geometry, and the information. Let's have a look at how to create this from scratch. Within your account, create a new project with the modules that you want on. We'll jump right into the scope and see that it's an empty scope. On the left, we are presented with a few templates that we can start with, maybe some classifications that you're wanting to include in your scope list, or start with an example project scope that might already have some milestones. Today, I'll just go through our library that has hundreds of building components that you can choose. We'll choose our wall foundation, some concrete columns as well, and we'll do a quick search for some stairs. Once we have found all the items that we want, we'll close the library and start naming or assigning our milestones. Here, I'll provide, say, an as-built milestone and another for asset data. We can now start to assign the LOD requirements. By selecting, I can just start to assign LOD 100, 2, 3, or 4 for as-builts, and then maybe as an asset data or a handover, I want to have LOD 500. You can also use the quick assign to select the LOD and the team responsible for, and even add a contractor responsible for other content here, and we'll give them a different highlight. It's saved. They're assigned, and now we can start to assign a different LOD and a different team responsible for the content. Sometimes we need information requirements or parametric values that are included with the geometry. So here you can import a list of requirements you may already have in a spreadsheet, or create them from scratch, or even look through a template or a list of properties already that my industry templates. I'll look for some concrete items like the finish and maybe compression strength. I'll add those to my project requirement list. Then I can choose one or multiple to start to assign them as needed. For this case, I've only assigned them to the asset data handover milestone. Each one of these tasks can be opened, added more information, descriptions, checklists, attachments, anything that you'd want that could help your modelers understand what they're going to do, and you could even assign a specific team member. Each of these tasks can then be seen in a timeline view where you can drag and drop and even add dependencies. Drag to a certain start and end date, or open that same container up to see the rest of the information. These same tasks can also be tracked in a Kanban board. So in here, each team can filter for their own scope of work and drag it across the status workflow that you've set up. By default, you'll start with the proposed, approved, started, but you can set this up any way you'd like to track progress with all of your modeling team. There is the option to also check against the model on progress. Here you can upload a model directly or connect it to your ACC account. You'll be able to, using some task rules, to help you link them. I have a model rule that's looking for the name of the task and the elements, and it has found 10 concrete stairs for us. Now I can determine whether I have the correct LOD required. It's checking for the parameters that we've asked for. Concrete finish is missing. Compression strength is also missing. 10 of 10 do not have that information. In just a few clicks, I was able to describe our LOD requirements to our modeling team and see progress in a Kanban board, and also check for the LOD and information against the model in the same environment and be able to track progress all visually. So here I'm going to look for the percentages complete versus pending or even unlinked.